Hello everybody, this is Jason Cooper, and I wanted to do a quick demo of some of the new features we've added to BidProApp for Quibids. Today is October 8th, 2012, so these are brand new updates. This is not an old video, these are not old features. Existing owners have gotten access to this immediately. I just rolled this out a couple days ago. I've gotten very positive feedback, so I wanted to shoot a quick video so you could see it in action in case you aren't a member yet. So as you can see, I'm just on an auction on Quibids. We've added support for the You Choose It, which means, they recently made almost all of their auctions these ones where you can select the product that you want to bid against. And when you change it, it changes the auction that you're bidding on. Let me show you to this portable heater. See, it changes the image, changes all this stuff, which means the history, which we show, has changed, or needs to change rather. So we've added this drop down with all of the items that are available for the auction you're bidding on. So what I'm going to choose is the Canon PowerShot S100. As you can see, Canon PowerShot S100 bundle, etc. So what you'll see here is what we've always had. We've got these tabs across the top where we show information about the bidders that are doing things, the historic prices, when the best times of the day are, the best days of the week, a much more extensive bid timeline than what you see over here on the right. Some general information about the auction. Of course, you can dive into the users and what they're doing and what they've done in the past. That stuff is the same as it always was. What we've added is this nice show graph feature to many of the graphs, many of the tabs at the top. What you'll get is when you click this, you get a visualization of the data that was on the previous page. In this case, you've got a bar chart. So you've got the recent auction bidders. Let's see here. We've got this bidder right here. This shows how many bids they've done. This is a bar chart of how many bids they've placed. So you can see that this person's placed 78 bids. The highest active bidder is over here, 182. But what's even neater is you can click this switch graph type and it'll show a bubble plot. And what you've got here is the same thing. The higher up, the more bids they've placed. But what the number in the middle now indicates is how many auctions they've won, and that also changes the size of the bubble. So you can see that this bidder has won, let's see, Ronald and Nick has won 193 auctions, so his bubble's much bigger than this person who's 149 or this person who's won 0. Over here, the person who's winning the auction, who's ahead, has won 330 times. Chances are they're probably a really good bidder. So you get a nice graphical view of this information now. And of course, you can always, as things are changing in the auction, you can hit this refresh button and it'll redraw the graph with the more up-to-date statistics about the users. It automatically refreshes every 30 or 15 seconds depending on what you have it set to here, just like always. But if you want to refresh immediately, you can hit this refresh button and get the data. Okay, so now that we've done a basic overview of how to get to the graphs, I'm going to show you the graphs that we have for each of these tabs. And this is a brand new feature. If you've got suggestions on other types of data or data points or things that you think could be graphically represented that you want to see, obviously send us a note. We'd love to hear feedback. We love for suggestions from our users. So I showed you on this latest tab, which means the latest bidders. We can show this graph. We can switch to a bubble chart, which is kind of the same thing, but with wider bubbles, per how many auctions the bidder has won. If we go to bidders sorted by number of bids, is what this means. We've got the same graph options essentially. So what we get here obviously is it's sorted by how many bids they bid. This is not the latest bidder, but this person has bid the most. So it shows it sorted like this. We can switch to the bubble graph. You can see that even though they bid the most, they've only won one auction. So you can see that they've only won a few auctions. This bidder right here probably going to win the auction if I had to guess. Maybe I'll come back later in the video and see if this person did indeed win this auction. Though I have a feeling this auction will go on for a while, and I'll tell you why I have that feeling in a moment. And then you've got bidders by number of wins, which is going to show, obviously it's going to show this is sorted by the all bidders of the auction. And then you've got the biggest winners up at the front here. It's sorted by how many they've won. So left to right, this bidder, who is probably not even active anymore, if we go back to the data, you know, their last bid was almost 2 hours ago. They're not active, but you can see that they've definitely won the most of all the bidders. And then this is just a bar chart of a similar data point, how many bids they've placed, sorted by who's won the most. Anyway, now we're going to get into the neat stuff. So we've got the historical price, which we've always had in these buckets, these bins of past 2, 7, 14, 60, 90 days. What is the average, median, min price? If we show a graph of that, we get sort of this nice bar chart of it. This auction has not had, this particular item has not had a lot of data for the minimums and maximums to show up, but other products will. Actually, I had the wrong product pulled up, so let me show it now. Now that we've got this Canon camera, you can see totally different data because we're actually bidding on a different item now, the camera. Before I had some random product in this list. So you can see now that the historic prices do show something. And then we've got day of week, very similar graph by the day of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. In parentheses, how many auctions have happened in that period for this item. Hour of day. This is kind of neat to see when the minimums and maximums of the hour of the day have been. Again, this is over about a 30-day window is when this data is calculated. You've got historic prices, and what this is the most recent closing endings of this product. And you can see it'll create a nice little line graph so you can see roughly what the prices have been over the last, probably 30 auctions in this case. And then you've got things like bid timeline and general stats have no need for a graph. There's not really anything to graphically represent here, so the graph button is just not visible. So if we go to our historic price stats, I can see that the average price has been about $17 here. Let me hide it and actually look at the data. Average price $18, $19, $19. I'm going to guess that this auction will end at about $18. It may or may not. Depends on time of day. There's other things you can dig into. Day of the week. This happens to be a what is today? Today's a Thursday. So you can see that actually the Thursday numbers are a little bit lower than other days of the week. So today might be a good day to bid on this. So next we might look at the hour of the day to see what time of day is best for this. So right now it is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Actually, this is a really, really good time to bid on this item. I bet it will end in the $18 to $20 price range. Hi everybody, I just wanted to come back here real quick. A few minutes ago I predicted this would go in the $18 to $20 range, and I predicted this bidder would win. As I was editing the video, I noticed that that is actually what happened. It ended at $19.56, and this bidder actually won the auction. This bidder had won the most auctions of all the people who were bidding, probably had the most experience, most expertise, probably going to win, and they did. So I just wanted to go and show you the power of what BidProApp can do.